Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today for another episode of the podcast, Still Awkward with Sadie. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, everybody, for downloading and spreading the word about the podcast. It's been puttering along. I think you might be the secret sauce, Ryan. I can't even believe it. In the beginning, I'm like, I just need someone to talk to. And then, I don't know, you're kind of lovable and people...
I do grow on people. I'm an acquired taste, but once you've acquired me...
you can't get it out of your mouth. It's like when you eat tuna.
Yeah, ugh, this won't leave.
At first, and then after a while, you get used to the tuna taste, right? Is that how that works?
Sure.
Okay, so there are two topics that I would like to touch on tonight. First of all, I hope everybody is so far having a great Tuesday, or really whenever you're listening, we're releasing this on Tuesday. But there are two things that I wanted to talk about. So pick one thing or pick the second thing. Well, you may not be happy with the first thing.
Let's go then. Let's go.
Okay, because I told you about this the other day very excitedly, and you were like, oh my God. And that is the news that conjoined twins, Abby and Brittany Hansel.
Second thing. What's the second thing?
We're seen out with their newborn baby over about a year after the news of their marriage. I feel like it was just yesterday. I think there's actually an episode where Sean and I talk about this girl. Now, if you don't know...
So whose baby is it?
Well, listen, this is where we're going to dissect, because they're conjoined twins. So they have one body and they each have a head. They both have their own functioning brain. And so
But everything else on their body, I'm just going to go head to toe. Everything
else on their body
is a regular set.
There is one chest. There is one
womb.
Imagine if you just didn't want to have, this is a big ask. I've heard, about stories about how some women can't have babies, so they ask their sister to carry the baby. This is like a whole next level of that, right? Because only one of the heads got married, and congratulations to her.
Before we go down that road, you have three sisters. You're one of three sisters.
Yes.
If one of them physically could not have a baby, and said, "Listen, I need you to have the baby for me,"
step the hell up,
would you have done it?
No.
You wouldn't have done it?
I would have gone to the other sister and been like, bitch, it would have been the most epic game of rock, paper, scissors. One of us would have done it. I have no doubt that there would have been a baby. One of us sisters, we would have but it would have been a battle royale of who actually would have to do it.
All right.
Because none of us enjoyed doing
it. So it goes Katie, Heidi, you.
Yeah.
Katie needs a baby. She can't have one.
Okay. Are you pitting me against my sisters? Like when I do it for
it's
Katie?
You and Heidi.
Okay.
And she's coming to you and saying, Sadie, you're younger. This would probably be easier on your body. You're much more attractive.
I'd say Heidi's younger than you too. I mean, you have multiple options.
Sure. You would try to find a way. You wouldn't be honored. You'd try to find a way out of it.
Well, I mean, listen, there's ask your sister to be the godmother to your baby. And then there's the ask of, will you carry the baby? I would do it. If I had to go back. I would complain a lot, but I would do it for my sisters. I would do it for either one of them.
How long would you hold that over their head like you owe me?
I don't think I would do that.
I'm hungry and I want an Oreo McFlurry. Will you drive and get me an Oreo McFlurry?
I ask my sisters to do that now, but I'm not carrying their child.
That's what I'm saying. It would ramp up.
No, I don't. I wouldn't torture them, because then it just takes away all the work that you did. If you make it like, what do they call it? Freudenschein or whatever is that? What is it called?
Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude. And isn't that where
you get pleasure from someone else's pain?
Oh, so it wouldn't. Never mind. Forget I said that. That would not have. But I mean, you're putting so much into giving this child to your sister. you wouldn't want to taint it with like, you owe me something. That would ruin the whole thing, I feel like. But I love in the comments of this story of the conjoined twins expecting a baby, one body, two heads. And the first comment on the People magazine, which is of course where I got this article, is there are kinks and then there's this guy. Now here's the road I want to go down.
Of course you do.
And maybe no one else wants to go down this road, but I'd like to venture down. In the act of coitus, how does it work when because it must be just it must be like the ultimate level of closeness where you could do that. You could be intimate with a partner with your sister's head on your shoulder and vice versa. What if the one sister's a hoe and she's wait. Now that I am getting deeper into this. So the one head got married. Congratulations to her. And then the other one, I believe, is single. So what happens when single lady meets a dude and then they start wanting to get it on? Like that's one body. How's the guy who's the husband now going to feel about it? I literally could go on the entire length of the show talking about these conjoined twins. It's fascinating to me. How does that work sexually? You've just venture there. I know you don't venture these places like I do, but come on, go down a walk down with me.
Walk down
with it. How would that work?
One claims one orifice, one claims the other.
That's hard on a body. What? Okay. Also, what if you're tired? What if your head is tired and you just want to relax? And then, they're getting all frisky and ramped up for a long night of tantric lovemaking. And you're just like, damn, I wonder if they have like those cans that they wear over your ears so you don't hear anything, but then you'd feel things. Do you see what's happening? I can't stop. Ever since I saw this article, I immediately had to save it because I'm like, we have to discuss this, even though I knew it would be mostly me discussing it to myself. But seriously, though, right? Right?
I just like watching you twist and turn about this one, like they must twist and turn in their relationship.
Oh, Ryan, you're painting a picture right now.
I am.
But it's true. It's very interesting. I'm going to put the article straight from People magazine on the social media pages. So be sure to follow across all platforms and join in the conversation because this guy over here, he refuses to join in. How have the numbers been so good and you refuse to join in on such conversations?
On this particular conversation?
This is what the people want to know.
I don't think anyone wants to know about this.
I think you're wrong. Okay, so that was the first thing. Okay, are you ready for the second thing? Okay. So I feel like every episode of this podcast, we somehow end up talking about Murphy. And that's great. But there are two things in this past week that will take a little bit of her innocence away. 2 in 1 week.
Of things that happened to her?
Of things that happened in her universe. And I think we can all relate to this, and that's where I'm going with this.
I have no idea what happened.
Urban Air closed.
Oh, yeah.
You know what else is closing? Claire's jewelry stores.
God bless Claire's, and I wish no ill will on anybody.
Oh, here he's coming.
But
for
I
blood.
have 2 daughters, and each of them had an obsession with Claire's, and each of them were the most indecisive person in the world.
Yeah.
So there have been times where I have spent over an hour in Claire's watching them go around and touch every single thing in the store. Mm-hmm. Claire's for me is like PTSD. Like I can't go in, can't talk about it, don't like it. Oh my God. Like I get a little Twitter-pated thinking about it.
When was the last time you stepped into Claire's though?
With Murphy, like, I don't know, months ago.
I refused to, I quit going into that store because once I discovered Temu, I realized that how overcharged you were being.
It's not overcharged compared to Temu. It's overcharged compared to everything.
It's the most it's like plastic ring that looks like, I don't know, a mug of hot chocolate.
Sure. $37.
Claire's $9.99. Temu, 10 cents.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. So I'm kind of shocked that Claire's made it this far. Now, I come from a time where Claire's was it.
Going down this Claire's road.
Well, listen, no, I'm getting somewhere, okay? But Claire's was it. That was like the place to go. You would spend your money there. I dare say pocket money. Oh, I sound so old. But that was the place. And I think about things that have come and gone in my life as well that I feel like I mourn. Can we go down that road? Because there is a big hole in my heart where Toys R Us used to be. Do you remember Toys R Us during the holidays had that big book, and it was just so exciting. You'd get it in the mail. And it was the same thing. Sears had a book, and all the JCPenney department store had a holiday book, and those are all gone now. They don't do catalogs anymore, do they?
No. You see like mini catalogs. We get the Shields mini catalog.
Yeah.
It's like a 28-page catalog.
Shields does do it, and especially during the holidays.
Yeah.
So anyway, is there like a store or anything that has closed that really affected you?
Long John Silver's.
What? Are you serious?
No, I'm not serious.
Oh my God. I love Long John Silver's.
Although I do, because they're all like closed.
Yeah.
I don't, every single one in my hometown here. Is
Long
Are you
John still
Silver's,
talking about Long John Silver's?
Is it still a thing?
It is a thing, but we just took a girls' trip to Kansas. It was crazy. And I was so excited because the little town that we went to had a Long John Silver's, and I was like so excited. It's sad when you get excited for food, but I was very excited. And they shuttered the doors.
Down.
I drove by, a little tear in my eye, just like a little piece of innocence gone. Yeah. And it just makes me think Murphy's going to look back on these things. I mean, Sophie's going to look back on Claire's and be like, oh, damn. Yep. I grew up going to Claire's. That was like a big deal for us. And so I don't know. It just took me kind of to a dark place.
Yeah. Talking about reclaiming some innocence.
Yeah.
Did you see that they have probably figured out a cure for male baldness?
Ryan I love how interested you are in living forever, because not
living forever on this one. And we'll talk about that. Sure. But male, like Ozempic, like the miracle pill for every single
what is
female
this
that we know
Ozempic?
that's now 90 pounds. But for guys, they're coming out with a pill that not only doesn't just stop your hair from growing or stop your hair from losing your hair, it actually will regrow your stimulated dormant hair cells.
This is amazing because I actually know men who have had implants or toupees made. Toupees are still a thing. And if you get it done right, it's really good. But my thing is, like, if people saw you bald and then the next day you have hair,
who cares?
How do you explain
What about a girl that is goes from 200 pounds to 90 in like 4 months?
Yeah, but
what about a girl that has she's flat chested and there's implants?
That's true. That's true. A lot of guys use Ozempic too. It's not just a guy or girl thing.
9 out of 10 that I've seen. And we got some ones that are close, right?
Yeah.
Like around us in the neighborhood and whatnot. It's almost always guys or girls, right?
Really? Do you think that's something that guys would be embarrassed to admit?
No.
Like, I use Ozempic.
I mean, well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe some guys would. I don't know.
I know I have a lot of girlfriends who do Ozempic. And there's a side effect. It's called like hollow face, where if you do it if you do it for a really long time, your face kind of sinks in. Okay. I mean, listen, if you want, there are days where I'm like, hollow face doesn't sound too bad if you don't have that insane guilt. Do you think Ozempic is a step forward, or do you think it's a step backwards? Because this is kind of the cure for weight that we've all been looking for. I know myself, as I get older, it is harder to regulate that stuff.
Yeah.
And lose the weight. And so I don't know.
I think it's great.
I
think it's great. I think it's good. But I'm saying on the baldness side, right? Kind of one of the next things. And I'm just curious. We know a lot of bald guys.
Yeah, a lot.
I wonder, because let me tell you, as a man that is blessed with thick hair.
He's got unicorn hair.
The newscaster hair. It's a task, man. And I bet you some guys that have went bald.
Oh, here we go.
No, I bet you some guys that have went bald.
Yeah.
Just for like, no, I don't want any upkeep at all. I just want to make it easy.
We were looking at pictures over the weekend with my parents of a trip we took years ago.
Yeah.
And I was taken aback by how much hair my dad had. Now, my dad
on the side
is bald on the top. He has a cul-de-sac. So the hair goes around the back and the sides. I was shocked because isn't it strange as time goes on, these little things change and you don't even realize it. But my dad had some hair on the sides. You know what he looked kind of like Larry David-ish.
It was 12 or 13 years ago. So, some time has passed. But yeah. Do you think your dad would take it?
Oh, now?
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
That's my point.
But
I bet you have some guys would be like, no.
Well, some guys look really good bald. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine? Well, you don't have to because they're movies, but like Bruce Willis, he looks really good bald. I think
Bruce Willis is the person who
that every guy thinks about.
Well, no, he's the guy who shaved his head and it was cool. And so he will forever be the person that did that. But he did have hair. It was thinning and whatnot. I don't know. I think it'd be 50-50 on guys doing it.
Well, listen, if you hear of guys getting the implants, which I think that's still a thing. I know guys that have gotten implants done. That looks painful.
Yeah. Imagine just taking a pill and it's growing back.
And then you over the weekend, you were like, you gotta, what was that thing you said where it's like, if you could just live for 5, you saw something where somebody said, if you could just live for 5 more years.
I believe so. Not to go into it a bunch, but I've talked about how they are going to cure aging, right? How David Sinclair, Harvard professor, through AI technology, who's been studying this for a long time, they're like, we're going to get close. Anyways, there was a guy who was giving an interview who's working in that same field. And he said, listen, if you can live for 10 more years, you're going to live for 15. Just make it 10 more years. And if you can make it for 15 more years, you're going to make it for 50 more years. We are going to take people who are 80, 100 years old, and we are going to, if they want to, get them back to 20.
How would that work, though? Would they still look 80?
I don't know.
And then how does that work for like the population of the earth?
You know what I'm worried about?
How
far are you going to go? Benjamin Button?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, how does that work? Does it Benjamin Button you?
Because think about hollow face with Ozempic.
Oh.
Right? So let's just Ozempic this. Hold on. Ozempic this for age. Okay. Ozempic, you are 200 pounds.
Okay.
And you're going to get down to 120.
Okay.
But you just keep losing weight and you get to 90, which there's some girls that we know that are getting into that 80, 90 hollow face look, right? Can you stop? Can they stop? I'd be curious to ask them. Did they hit their goal weight? Are they okay? What happened there, right? I wonder what's going to happen with aging.
Well, here's the thing.
Take you back to 20. Oh, all of a sudden, nope, we're going to take you back to 12.
Here's the thing I've noticed with Ozempic. It seems like if you take it, you have this like raging success. But the minute you go off of it.
Do you know people that have gone off of it?
I do know people who have gone off of it.
Okay.
And I've seen mixed reviews. I've seen people gain the weight back. Yeah. And then I have seen people, and I will call her out, but my best friend, she takes, well, I shouldn't say. Should I say she took Ozempic? I don't think she gives a shit if anybody knows.
Do you really want to test it unless you're 100% sure?
Probably not. I'll beep her name out. Yeah. Anyway, she looks so good. Like I saw her today, and I mean, she looks amazing. Not that she didn't look amazing before.
Sure.
But she just looks so great. And she's been off of it for a while.
Really?
And I think that Ozempic is a good springboard to give you that confidence and to make you say like, wow, look at how I look and I feel good. And I this feels so good that when I get off it, I'm going to want to chase that. And, but then I know people who have gotten off it and they kind of go back.
Yeah.
And that's okay too. But I don't know. I've always thought that was wild. I know a lot
But think about that. That was a monumental shift.
Huge.
Ozempic was the GLP-1s, monumental shift for people. Okay. That's going to be one of the very first things that happen. We're going to be alive during a time. But
didn't people stumble upon Ozempic because it's something people took for diabetes?
Correct. It was diabetes. But what I'm saying is healthcare advancements are going to ramp up like never in the history of mankind.
Do you worry a little bit that you're going to die before that?
A little bit. Better hurry it up. But no, everything that Dr. Sinclair is talking about, everything in that whole field, right? They're talking about the acceleration. Have you ever heard the term Moore's Law?
I think so, but remind the audience.
Moore's Law is a Silicon Valley term that basically says technology will essentially, the speed of it and the size of it will essentially double every 2 years. Okay. So if you have a big chip, it'll be in half in 2 years, and then half of that in 2 years, and half of that, which is how we got to microprocessors really, really quickly, right? Or the speed of the internet. It just doubled every 2 years.
Yeah. Right.
Moore's Law. Okay. That is true for healthcare advancements as well. And that is going to speed up, where doubling every two years is not going to be a thing anymore. It's going to double like every couple weeks in terms of our advancements with AI.
You seem very excited. Do you think
for healthcare specifically, it's going to be fantastic?
What else will AI do? I mean, I know. Listen, if you have noticed a shift in the titles of these podcast episodes, it's because Ryan turned me on to Chat GPT, where it's like, just write a title. We talked about this and this, and it gives you a list of like 10 titles. You like these? You don't? Well, listen to this. We're going to give you 10 more different options. Right, sure. It's shocking.
Yeah. There is a ton that'll obviously change. And if anybody tells you what they know is going to happen, then they're probably lying. Who knows what's going to actually happen? What we can say is the speed and the development of what people did. I mean, think about it. When people were alive 100 years ago, right? There were like generational changes once every generation. In our lifetime, how many generational changes have we been alive for? And that will only speed up. It will only accelerate.
Well, okay, because just in our lifetime, I mean, I know the Dewey Decimal System. I took Murphy to the library like a week.
Doesn't that seem like the Stone Age?
But here's the deal. The library is still pretty, I mean, you have to go to the computer. You have to type in what book you want or the author that you're looking for. And it gives you options, but it's the same as it was in school, where it'll give you the codes.
Okay.
The numbers on the books, and you have to go out and search for it. And I have to tell you, when I was trying to explain that to Murphy, like, oh yeah, it was really hard. There are so many things that I feel like we learned, we had to know how to do, and now they're just so irrelevant. But there was a time where you would go and have to search through cards at the library in order to find your book, and then you had to read the book. You didn't get the Cliff's Notes. Remember when Cliff's Notes were a thing where you could find them like in book form, and it would just give you all the answers to the book?
Right. Remember when you had a access issue for going into any Ivy League school or any college or university for that matter, and now you can literally go find anything that they learn. You won't get one-on-one exposure with professors, but you can do that, right? I'm talking about generational shifts, and buckle up. Because we're in 2025. By the time we're in 2030, you're going to look back and be like, remember when this and this and this and this and this?
Remember when we weren't slaves to robots, just like in the movie Terminator 2?
I think you would take it very well being a slave to a robot. You can go to sleep.
I don't know.
Here are 3 meals a day and wake up again.
Wow. So I'm like a character on WALL-E, where I'm just
okay.
Really? That's what you think?
I think you would.
You think I'd like being a slave?
I think you'd like it. I think you'd like it. I think you'd like the automation of life and not having to think.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm just saying, right? Like, you'd be like, oh, sign me up for that.
Not having to think in life?
Well, not just being like,
that does sound kind of good.
See my point.
You had some fear in your eyes when I was getting angry. That is a little bit rude to say, but we're just going to gloss right over it because, but I think that
if life was a conveyor belt, you'd be on it.
Jeez, would you please stop? Well, you're not even ahead. I can't even say stop while you're ahead. Can you please just stop? Yeah, it's crazy what they're able to do from growing hair back now to losing a ton of weight. And I don't know. I know people who have struggled with diet. I myself have, again, I mean, the older you get, the harder it is to, which is so frustrating. But it's true. You have to work twice as hard. You have to eat practically nothing. We have a wedding this weekend, and I have to tell you, this is a horrible thing. But today I had a stick of beef jerky, and what else did I have? I think like an apple, and that was it. That was it. I'm on like a supermodel diet. You know what supermodels do sometimes to lose weight? I don't know. Well, yeah, but I was reading an article, and it really was an article. It wasn't a TikTok video that I try to pass off as articles. I was actually reading an article that said back in the 90s, at least, I don't know if it's still a thing because it's a different time, but back in the 90s, supermodels would stay incredibly thin by eating cotton balls. Eating cotton because they expand in your stomach so you feel full. I know. Can you believe that?
No, I don't believe that.
Look it up. And you're being really sassy tonight. What with your
No.
I don't believe that. And you would love living in a world where you didn't have to think. You need to spend the next 60 seconds to the end of the show by digging yourself out of the hole. Can you do that?
Yeah. Listen, you're smarter than me.
Okay. It's true.
You're better looking.
All right. You're getting out. That's it? Wow. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode of the podcast. Again, if you wouldn't mind following on all platforms and wherever you found this podcast, just click that automatic download. That way you have all the episodes. And if for some reason you don't have the internet, there's technology. I was just going to say, there's nothing worse than having no internet. And then you're like, well, what?
Don't end the show yet. Did you hear what's happening with AOL?
I didn't even know there was an AOL still.
Dial-up internet is going away. And I was like, that's still a thing? People still have dial-up internet?
Yeah, but you have to think like people like my parents, they're not into change. So yes, things are progressing. And I feel like that's a slippery slope because there's certain things now with technology where I'm like, how do I do this? What is this? I feel, like ancient, but it's inevitable.
Dial-up internet. It's still a thing.
I remember my grandma took a class about computers at the college, and it ended up being a class not about how to use a computer, but about how computers came about. So she took a whole semester and was so pissed off because, I guess it wasn't a semester. It was probably just like 6 classes, but she was very upset that that's what it was. So we'll end on that note, and we're actually going a little bit over. Before I say goodbye, I want to thank show sponsors Wilbur's Total Beverage. Look up their social media. They are locally owned and operated, but to go back to their social media, they do such great things in the community, and they work with hospice. They work with some really legit charities, and the fact that they're locally owned and operated and they're family owned and operated. So you're going to see them out and about, maybe at the grocery store. And that's comforting because I will go up to the folks at Wilbur's Total Beverage, even if I'm at King Soopers, and ask questions about their array of different types of alcohol, whether you're looking for something like a rum, something tropical. God, I feel like, like an actual beach vacation, rum is a must have. But what if you're just hanging out at your house because you can't afford to go on a beach vacation? Why not just go to Wilbur's Total Beverage? You can get the mix there. You can get the alcohol there. I think they even make, I sound ancient, but I'm 99.999% sure that they also offer like pre-made. Everything's already, but you don't even have to think about it. Oh my God, it's true. I want to live in a world where it's already done and I don't have to think about it.
Told you.
Oh, Ouch. Wilbur's Total Beverage, go see them and mention that you heard about it on the podcast. Also, Garage Door Service and Sales and Christiana Salon Spa. All amazing friends and amazing sponsors. Thank you so much for listening. And we will be back tomorrow. And it's going to be hump day. Is that annoying that I say hump day?